Okay, not bad. Digging the art style here. Oh, oh, oh my. I guess that's one way to start a story.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video going over another awesome comic book that I am reading. It is called Rogue Sun. Rogue Sun is actually pretty decent for what it is. I can get behind everything that's going on. It has this Fire Knight looking dude. It is full of werewolves and soul-sucking demons. I really don't know how this universe plays into the whole overarching Radiant Black universe, but it is quite entertaining to begin with. So, we're going to jump into it. Also, guys, stick around. Sometime in the video, I'm going to be going over ways you can help support the channel, both monetary and non-monetary. Trying to get this channel to be built up. So I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff to help promote the brand Heroic Studios, as well as you guys getting some cool stuff from me in the near future. But before all that, let's get into Rogue Sun. Now, I've been reading Radiant Black. If you missed my first reading of Radiant Black, boom, my first review of it, it's actually a really good book. I got my hands on volume 2. I read volume 2. I have not done a video for volume 2. Instead, I've decided to give you guys a little bit more of a nugget of information regarding Rogue Sun. Now, do you remember this guy? This guy right here? Yeah, he was in the first ever crossover in the Radiant Black universe. His name was Marcus, and he was known as the Rogue Sun, which is basically like this fire knight kind of dude who can fly and shoot fire out of his black armor. I mean, really cool design, really cool everything about this guy. But yeah, he's dead. We met him once. He gave us a little backstory on his dad, how his dad was an asshole and all this other stuff. And then, yeah, he died in the first few pages of issue 1 of Rogue Sun. So that's one hell of a way to start a story, Image. I don't really know where you're going with this, but I'm on board. When your main character, or the main titular character, dies. But, you know, Rogue Sun is just a title. So we meet Marcus. He's fighting some cloaked green dude. Kind of reminds me of the main villain in Radiant Black as of now, who's glitching in and out. Kind of reminds me of that. So I don't know if that's like a generic art style that the writers kind of go with, but it's really interesting. So this person ends up killing Rogue Sun, and yeah, that's it. I mean, no one really knows how they did it. Rogue Sun is supposed to be the most feared and most powerful person in all of the universe, and he gets his ass handed to him by this person who we don't know who it is. So what do? We go forward and we meet his son, his douchebag of a son named Dylan. Dylan is a prick. I'm just going to come out and say that. He's a complete douchebag. He's a bully. He throws nerds in lockers, and he forces people to do his homework. So yeah, not the greatest person to be dealing with right now, but it gets better. So after Marcus dies, he gets invited to the reading of the will. Now, Marcus used to be married to Dylan's mother, obviously, but that didn't work out because Marcus was Rogue Sun and had to deal with a lot of supernatural, dark-like kind of threats that just, you know, something like that would impede a relationship very much. So I can see why they're no longer together. But it turns out that Marcus ended up remarrying and having 2 other kids, Ari and Brock. But not only that, we learned that Marcus is extremely loaded. This dude is rich. He has this Bruce Wayne-like manner. He has a butler, and he has 2 preppy little kids who, they come off as brats, to be honest. Like, you know, Marcus isn't rich. He has a single parent, and they talk to him, you know, like he's a piece of shit. I mean, at this point in the story, he is a piece of shit because he's throwing people in the lockers and stuff like that, but that's not the point. Everybody is after this thing called the Sunstone, which would imply that, yes, this is how Marcus used this power to become Rogue Sun. And everybody wants it. Brock wants it. Ari wants it. Dylan doesn't really know what it is. Doesn't really care about it. But as a twist of events, Marcus actually leaves Dylan with the Sunstone, pissing off his 2 other kids. So they're really upset. They don't like that Marcus gave the Sunstone to Dylan. Dylan, who doesn't seem like He wants it to begin with. He's looking like he wants more of the money that's coming from his father, but that doesn't really help. So he takes the Sunstone, not really sure what to do with it. So he kind of goes through a quick character development, which is really odd because these kinds of archetype of characters who are just a douchebag, carefree, nothing, don't want to do anything kind of characters normally don't go from I don't want to do this to I want to do this in a matter of like 2 pages. Usually that takes about a few issues, but Dylan actually does it immediately. I mean, he doesn't know what this power is. He doesn't know what he's doing with it. All he knows is that he has this little glowing orange rock that turns him into a superhero, and he doesn't know how to use the power. So, as a testament to that, he actually gets an alert. So the Sunstone is actually able to alert the holder whenever there's trouble. Kind of like how Zordon can contact the Power Rangers whenever there's trouble, except there's not a big floating head in the tube telling him what to do. So he activates the power, he goes off and he fights this really cool villain. This villain is actually really dope. He's wearing this cool whole cowl that reflects things, like kind of like Venatus from Kingdom Hearts, you know, kind of along those lines, which I love those kinds of helmets. They're really cool and I need to get my hands on one. Anyway, this dude ends up kicking Dylan's ass. Boom, done. Gets away with whatever he stole and gets away. Flat out. Now, I like this villain. I don't know who he is, but I hope there's more of him because his demeanor and all of his actions and dialogue, they're actually really catchy, and I like the way he carries himself. So I hope there's more of him. Anyways, as Dylan is trying to get back up, he comes face to face with his father. His father is still alive. No, his father isn't still alive. Apparently his soul is actually linked to the suit, so it allows Dylan to actually talk to Marcus whenever he needs to. But Marcus is actually on a mission of his own, trying to find out who killed him. And he has a few suspects. And those suspects are very interesting people. Mainly his son, Brock. But we'll get into that later. So issue 2 picks up with Dylan fighting I don't know how to put this, a winged werewolf. That's also a hillbilly. A racist hillbilly. We have a racist hillbilly winged werewolf. I don't know how to feel about that at all. Anyways, Dylan gets his ass kicked by this werewolf, but the sun comes up, causing the werewolf to flee, but this werewolf actually got Dylan sent. So later on, we learn that it hunts him down again, and he gets his ass kicked, but it's not until Ari shows up and takes this thing out. I think she hits him with a car or something insane, knocks this dude out. So after they've captured this winged hillbilly racist werewolf, that is so weird. Whoever wrote this, dude, you were high as a kite, I have to say. Winged racist hillbilly werewolf. Okay, I'll go with it. They take him to a place called the Crystal Menagerie, and this lady heads up the Crystal Menagerie. Now, the Crystal Menagerie is where Rogue Sun takes all of the creatures that he's fought and he imprisons. And they imprison them into these little crystal, like if you ever looked at a chandelier that had little crystals on it, that's basically what this is, except they have monsters in it that hangs over a kitchen table. So I can't imagine having dinner with these monsters hanging over the kitchen table, just chilling. Can she hear them? That would be weird. Like, extremely weird. So, after that's all said and done, Marcus tells Dylan that, hey, I think my son actually tried to kill me. And Dylan's like, what? Man, you have a screwed up family, bro. What makes you think that your kid is trying to kill you? Because he wants the Sunstone. Yeah. But he would have gotten it anyway once you died naturally, right? That doesn't make any sense. We have to follow my son. Okay. So they ended up collecting some clues that would suggest that Brock had something to do with Marcus's murder. Turns out that he has a drug deal. Yeah, this kid is trying to pick up something called some type of sage that is going to help him commune with his father. So when that happens, Dylan sort of steps in and kind of makes the deal go south, so to speak. And Brock explains that he was just trying to get this stuff to resurrect his father. So when Marcus hears this, he immediately just kind of does a 180 and says, oh, yeah, it couldn't have been my son. And I'm sitting here reading like, you think this little kid would have something to do? I mean, I know this kid comes off as an asshole, like a little prick, spoiled little brat, but I don't think he has what it takes to kill his own father, who happens to be the most powerful thing in the universe that's keeping the forces of darkness at bay? I don't think so. It doesn't make any sense. So of course, our attention is diverted over to his daughter, Ari, who actually took one of the little crystals that was hanging on the chandelier containing a demon that can suck out the souls of people. Her name is Demonica. Or Demona. No, Demonica. I like Demona better. She was more of a badass villain than Demonica. Anyways, everything ties back to Ari for taking that little crystal, but she continually says that she didn't kill her father, which is kind of hard to believe considering you just released a soul-sucking demon who is now rampaging through the city, sucking out the souls of people and feeding on them. Yeah, that's weird. That's extremely weird. But she exclaims very profoundly that she did not kill her father, that she released Demonica. I am assuming it's never explained why she released Demonica, but this is my theory, so take what you will. Demonica has the ability to suck souls out. I don't know if she has the ability to regurgitate souls. So I'm thinking if she does have the ability to regurgitate souls, she is going to have Demonica fight Dylan, knowing that he's communing with Marcus. So Demonica would suck the soul out of Dylan, Marcus's soul out of Dylan, and then regurgitate it back to Ari, who then can talk to her father. That's all these kids want. They want to speak to her father, to their father. That's it. So yeah, that's weird. Are you mesmerized by the rotating Blastoise that's sitting on your screen right now? Or perhaps you're one of the many people who chose Charmander as their very first starter. Or are you some of the people who chose Bulbasaur and ended up with a Venusaur? Or perhaps you're just a fan of all three. Whatever the case may be, you can always find something of interest on my Etsy shop, like this Green Ranger Chibi figurine. Look at that. Or maybe you're a fan of the Red Ranger. Just look at those details. Or if you're into Pokemon like I am, maybe you might be into this articulated Steelix. Go pick one up. Go make your friends jealous. Or stick to the original Kanto line like this Onix, fully articulated, waiting for you to go buy it. Whatever the case, there's always something for everybody on my Etsy shop, so go pick something out and help support the channel. Or if that doesn't tickle your fancy, you can go ahead and pre-order my comic book, The Super 6. Pre-order bonuses is wide open and you get this exclusive overcharge cover. Pre-orders end June 3rd and the book launches June 17th, so go ahead and get that. Or you can go ahead and check out my Patreon. For $3 a month, you can say thank you, or for $20 a month, you'll get a very special loot box full of random prints that you might have seen in my store, or maybe might be something I haven't really printed yet. Who knows? Whatever the case may be, this will help support the channel, so go ahead and check out any of those things. I'm not a sponsored YouTuber, guys, but I do have a lot of things and ways that you can help support the channel, so go ahead and check out what I have to offer, and I hope you guys do help your boy out. Now, back to the video. Anyways, going right back to it, it turns out that Demonica is actually beaten because, I mean, Dylan doesn't know how to do this. He really doesn't. He's getting his ass kicked by this thing, but she's actually getting her ass kicked by someone else who just steps in to kind of help Rogue Sun, kinda. Turns out it's the person that ended up killing Marcus before. This green cloaked, weird glitching person. I don't even know if they're glitching. It feels like they should glitch, but they don't. Anyways, turns out that it is, yes, the identity of this person is revealed. And wouldn't you know that it is actually Dylan's mother. Yeah, that is, so Dylan's mother killed her ex-husband Marcus for what? We don't know. I don't know. It sounds kind of Jerry Springer-ish to me, but so far this series is actually really good, and I'm really enjoying it, especially after the last issue with Marcus's mother, with Dylan's mother, I'm sorry, being the one who killed her ex-husband. How does she do it? What is she? Is she some kind of supernatural being? We will never know. But well, I mean, I guess we'll find out eventually, but as of now, we will never know until issue 5 drops in June, because it is now June for this. So that's it. That's Rogue Sun, issues 1 through 4. I hope you guys did enjoy that. I like it. So if I like it, then you guys can go pick up a copy at your local comic store. Start with issue 1, 2, 3, and then pick up 4, which came out last month. It's actually a really interesting story, and Image is doing a lot of cool stuff with their new Radiant Black universe. There's a lot more that they're putting together, and I guess I guess you can say if you like Power Rangers from Boom, then I guess you will like this. I mean, this isn't something that's like Power Ranger-ish, but it is something to keep you entertained once a month if that's the only thing in your pull box, whatever. It's actually really cool, and it's a really good story, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing what this series actually does. So that's going to do it for me, guys. I hope you guys do enjoy this video. Go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Of course, leave a comment because I've been told that that helps the YouTube algorithm, and I can use a little help right now gaining more subscribers and getting more views on my videos. Of course, go check out my Patreon, which for $3 a month, you can get early access to videos like these, as well as a shout out. And of course, the Patreon only posts that I only post on Patreon, and you can get a nice little loot box every month if you go with the heroic tier that I have available. Of course, there's stuff that you can buy, like my Etsy shop, as well as my heroicstudiosmedia.com, where you guys can pick up my book, The Super 6, which comes out June 17th. So go ahead and check those out. Anything you guys do, both monetary and non-monetary being subscribing, leaving a comment and like and sharing this video, helps me out tremendously. So please help me out and show me some love. What did you guys think about this video? Did you like it? Will you be reading Rogue Sun? I hope so. It's really good. Anything better than Marvel and DC that I've seen so far. So save your money from Marvel and DC. Go pick up something from Image like Rogue Sun or Radiant Black. It is really worth it, and I will be getting to Radiant Black Volume 2. So please be patient with me. I'm doing the best that I can. And with that being said, I'm out of here, guys. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys in another video. Adios.